Hello everyone, so we're back with another video. You guys like my shirt? Hopefully. I don't know. You probably think it's cringe, I don't know. But we're back with another update on my record collection, so let's get into this. So, first one, this is the Sufjan Stevens, Carrie and Lowell. This is like the 10-year anniversary of, this is one of my favorite albums, probably my second favorite album of 2015 after The Powers That Be by Def Grips. Now, this is, in my opinion, his best work. It's very personal, very emotional, very beautiful. And glad I got this. So this is like a little thing it comes with. So, and this is the album. Looks like that's Lowell when I was younger, and that's Carrie when she was younger. Looks like it's like the yearbook photos or all that stuff. No, speak Carrie, and then Sufjan when he was a kid, with a banana, like eating breakfast or something. And this album was made in dedication to his mother who passed away, and Lowell is his stepdad, who's still alive. I think he also makes music, Lowell does. And this is a book. That's Carrie, there's Lowell. So this kind of just has like a bunch of photos, it looks like, that were taken. Throughout his childhood, throughout his mother's childhood and his stepdad's childhood. There's Lowell. Oh, maybe that's not, that might be like her parents or something, I don't know. This is like, must be his yearbook photo or something. That's what his thing is on Spotify at the moment, I think. Alright, and then that's it for that. Well, now we'll go into the other ones. Hold on. So this is Fancy That by Pink Pantheress. So she's an English kind of drum and bass, alt pop kind of musician from England. I was like English, she's from England. This is a mixtape, it's 22 minutes. This is one of my favorites of the year. Maybe not in my top 10, but definitely in my top 15 of the year. It's really fun, really catchy. She has a really good voice. And really cool release. Next up we have Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus. I never thought I'd own a Miley Cyrus record because I can't stand her music, but she actually really delivered with this and dropped a really good album. So I won't take it out because it's just black. I was expecting it to go in a bit of a more experimental direction based on the title track, but it kind of goes more in a kind of 80s sound with some experimentation here and there. It's definitely an artistic sounding release. And I kind of always felt like, man, she's not really using her talent for the right reason. Well, she finally did. So, obviously not a perfect release. A couple songs here and there I didn't care for, but overall it's still really good. And maybe not in my top 15 of the year, but definitely somewhere in my top 20. Next up, we have an album I've been listening to a lot lately, Run the Jewels 2 by Run the Jewels. Really like this release. Some people have kind of brought up recently that some parts kind of sound like industrial hip hop, which I originally didn't know what they meant. Now kind of listening to it again, I kind of see what they mean. Which it's not really the first time LP has really flirted with industrial hip hop, because he did on some of his solo releases. And I know that like a lot of their, especially on this music, does sound very EDM influenced, which you know is common in industrial hip hop with some stuff by Def Grips and you know, like with JPEG Mafia and stuff like that. And this is kind of like a die cut thing, so you can switch it to this cover if you want, but I don't really like that one all that much. And I think the original came with stickers, which this one does not, but that's alright. They need to drop a new release, guys. Come on, like, Run the Jewels 4 is my second favorite release, and probably my second favorite release by either artist. This one's definitely my favorite by either of them, LP or Killer Mike. But they need to drop a new one, man. I know they can do it, because Run the Jewels 4 was incredible. And their weakest release happens to be their first album, so the first Run the Jewels album, in my opinion. So this is, not a fan of this cover, but love the album. This is probably my second favorite release by Billy Woods. This is Gollywog. It has an incredibly horrible cover. Yep, and it's kind of plastered everywhere. He's the Washington, D.C. born New York rapper who kind of goes under kind of an anonymous kind of thing, which obviously the cover is obviously used for like ironic or whatever reasons, I don't know, but like it's because it's actually a political album that has a lot of stuff against hate, so obviously the cover kind of, you know, it's weird, but anyways, this also features a lot of kind of creepy elements. Like the production in this has a lot of horror themes, and there's some parts on this that actually sound really scary. Like it sounds kind of like some of the eeriest horrorcore you'd ever hear in some parts. And I feel like that's a really good mixture of his poetic, very unique style of rapping. But like I said, this is probably the second best thing Billy Woods has done yet. And my favorite is still probably Atheops. But he releases albums a lot, man, and he's really consistent. He's definitely one of the best rappers of the 2020s, I think. Even though he's been around for years. Yeah, I don't know how old he's, like 40 something? I don't know. I'm not too sure, but it's good stuff. I like it a lot. And finally, we have Birthing by Swans. This is their new album. They're another really consistent group, but they've been around since the 80s, which I won't take this out because, like early 80s, because it's just black. But this is probably the best of their really recent stuff. I wouldn't say it's as good as any of the albums in their like trilogy. You know, it's not as good as To Be Kind, The Seer, or The Glowing Man, which I think is kind of their masterpiece trilogy. Because To Be Kind and The Seer are both my favorites, and it's not as good as Soundtracks for the Blind either. But it's not as good as The Glowing Man, but it's still really good. I'd say it's definitely the best of their stuff after, you know, The Glowing Man. So it's their best release since The Glowing Man. It's still really good. Kind of features a lot of political themes and some really weird stuff, which I know Swans has kind of always in kind of a weird group. But it does kind of feature some of their returns to some of their roots and some of their other stuff, which I like. Interestingly, the song "I Am a Tower" actually ended up being one of my least favorites off of this, even though it's I like the single a lot. Even though there's some cheesy moments, like the one lyric that says, "Show me an ocean and I'll fart till it boils," which I don't know what he was thinking writing that. That's weird. So the poster, I'll probably hang that up once I get home. All right. Well, anyways, so that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.